Hi guys, my name is Renato Filizola and today I'm going to show you how to install CentOS 8 in Oracle VirtualBox. I'm going to create my machine from scratch. So I'm going to go to Machine, New. I'm going to choose a name for it, CentOS 8 Server. I'll keep in my machine folder, my default folder, type Linux, and we can keep the version Red Hat because it's based on Red Hat. Next, memory size, I'm going to change from 1 gigabyte to 2 gigabytes. Oops. Hard disk, I will create a virtual hard disk now, so hit create, and I'll keep the default option, which is VDI, VirtualBox Disk Image. Next, and choose dynamically allocated, which is the default option. Next, this is the file location and size. File location I'll keep the same, which is the CentOS server.vdi, but I'm gonna change from 8 gigabytes to 12 gigabytes, and I'm gonna hit create. Right click on your machine, which is CentOS server you just created here in my virtual machines list. I'm gonna go settings and go network. I'm going to change the adapter from NAT to bridge adapter. That will be associated with my wireless interface. Okay. Right click, settings again, and storage. Select your select the empty DVD, and on the right side, click here. And I have my CentOS 8.5 DVD ISO file, which is CentOS 8. So I will select this and I'll hit OK. I'm going to start the machine. Click Start. It's going to load the DVD, the ISO file. And right now it's asking me I can install CentOS, I can test my media, and I can troubleshoot something. Because I want to install, I will go for install CentOS Linux 8. I'm gonna hit enter. It's gonna load my ISO file. It checks the devices, the hardware. Let's just wait a little bit more. It's starting the installer. It says 1 moment. So at this point we need to wait. Almost there. There we go. So now we have the welcome to CentOS Linux 8 screen, and the first question actually is, what language would you like to use during the installation process? I will keep English. Continue, hit continue. And there we go. So we have to change some options here. I will start from keyboard, as my keyboard is not an English keyboard, so I'm gonna remove this option. If your keyboard is an English keyboard, you can just hit done, but I'm gonna remove this and I'm gonna add a Portuguese keyboard, which is Portuguese Brazil. I'm gonna add it and hit done. Software installation source, We don't have to do anything here, so we can keep the default option, which is auto detect installation media. Hit done. And the next one is installation destination. It says automatic partitioning selected. I'm gonna click on that, and I will select my hard disk, which is my 12 gigabytes hard disk, and hit done. Okay, it doesn't show that alert message anymore, so that means the disk has been selected. Language support, I will keep English. Software selection, I'll click on that, and I'm not going, the default option is server with GUI, which is graphical user interface. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use minimal install. That means I will install just a text mode. In the corporate environment, I would say most of the servers, they are always text servers. So I'm not going to use the graphical server, graphical interface. I'm going to hit done. And kdump I'll keep enabled. Time and date, click on that to change. As I live in Canada, I will change the city from New York to Toronto. That's the time, 6:11, and I'll hit done. The next step is network and host name. For default, it's not connected. My network interface is not connected for default, so I'm gonna click on that, and I have to enable my Ethernet interface. So you can see here that is for default it's disconnected. I'm gonna enable. It's gonna check for any DHCP server in my network, and it just found an IP address 192.168.0.135/24. That means this my IP address is a Class C IP address. I will change the host name. I'm gonna change to CentOS 8-server. Click apply, and then you can go done. And we won't be able to begin the installation until we set up the root password. So I'm going to select the root password. Root password. I'm going to choose a password for my root account. Please try always to check if your password is strong. That means it's going to be safer. And hit done. Okay, now we can begin the installation. It's gonna preparing the installation. It will create the file system, which the default is XFS file system. It's preparing transaction from the installation source. Let's just wait a little bit more. Okay, installing the firmware, and as you can see, the packets for the minimal installation, it has 364 packets, which is not a lot. I'm gonna pause the video, and as soon as it's completed, as soon as it's installed, I will be back. There we go, the installation has been completed, and it says here CentOS Linux is now successfully installed and ready for you to use. Go ahead and reboot your system to start using it. So I'm going to reboot the system. And it's gonna boot up the system. choose the first option. It will choose automatically. Okay, it will check the services. Let's see, there we go. I'm gonna log in with my root account, root, and I'm gonna enter the password I have chosen. We are logged. Let me check the IP address with the IP address show command, and I will check for my interface, which is ENP0S3. You can see in the inet line 192.168.0.135. That is the IP address. I'll check my host name, and that's the host name I have chosen, CentOS 8-server. So now we have the CentOS server installed. It's very basic installation. It's not hard at all. It's very easy. And it's the same thing. I have another video here in my channel. It's the same. CentOS is the same thing as a Red Hat. The only difference is because a Red Hat we need to pay for a support license, and CentOS is free. But I would say that they are almost the same thing. They are pretty much the same. If you guys like this video, please give us a thumb up, give a comment, and subscribe to my channel to receive news and updated videos. Thank you so much. See you guys.